Hello everybody, Average Gamer here. Welcome to possibly the second last for a while supply cache opening. So as you can see here, I only have 24 left. I am running out. So what we're going to do is try to kind of eke out this a little bit more. We're going to open 5 of them. Now, one of the things I'm actually going to do to change things up a little bit, to make this last a little longer, is actually to open a notepad here, is to evaluate what we win. Talk about how we could use it and if it's worth it, basically. So, we're going to open 5 and 5 only for the moment. That gives us an extra 3 weeks, or an extra 2 weeks, because I only got 24 left. I haven't really been winning these things, though I haven't been really playing as much as I normally would. But usually I'll win 3 a week, 4 a week, so I've been running a deficit, basically. So we might switch this to every second week. Until I can build up another cache of supply caches. But in the meantime, we're only going to open 5, and we're going to go over the 5 as we go. So, we're going to open the first one. So we got cool shots, C-build rewards, 1 day of premium time, sensor range module, a Jaeger Mech A, Clan ERPPC, Clan LB20X, a lantern, and I already mentioned the cool shot. So here we go. Kind of wish this went vertical in a circle. Kind of like in Wheel of Fortune. Clan ERPPC. See what the next one is. So we have XL285 engine, Timberwolf torso, which wouldn't be too bad. 2 Clan LRM15s, another Clan ERPPC, Target Decay module, Urban Mech Warhorn, Clan AMS, and another 1 day of premium time. Here we go. Another Clan ERPPC. Okay, that's a little crazy, but 2 Clan Ultra 5s, Pug and Helmet, AMS, Jenner 2CK, Target info gathering, 3 supply key caches, which wouldn't be too bad, 50 MC rewards, and 1 day of premium time. We're probably going to get the rate we're going today. I'm going to say we're going to get the AMS. Or the Clan Dual Ultra 5s. Clan AMS! Oh man, this is going to be such a bad video. We got number 3. Oh no, this is number 4. 250 C-bills, 1 day premium time, radar derp, 2 Ultra 5s, illuminating gas, an AC2, a Mech Bay, and a Newton's Cradle. God, this is going to be a bad video. 3, this is number 4. 2 AC2s. Okay. Basically, I'm just going to go over the weapon systems and things like that and just talk about what you can do with them, basically, and what they do as well. Just try and eke out a few extra minutes of the video here. Oh my god, this is horrible. Clan SRM6, an LRM10 with Artemis, Hamster Huey, 500 MC, 1 day premium time, Targo info gathering, 2 Clan Large Pulse, would have been too bad, and a radar derp. LRM10. Now, some of these things, obviously, you can't use them on their own. So we're going to go into them and just talk about them overall in my inventory here. Weapon systems. So the first one was Clan ERPPCs. Let's go all the way to the bottom. There we go. So, Clan ERPPCs are, in my eyes, still just crazy, amazing, crazy awesome. We're going to go into the mech lab here. So, here we have the Nipple Blaster. So, the Clan ERPPCs, when it comes to power, is just insane. The overall max range is 1,620 meters. Ultimate range is 810, though you can shoot as close as point blank if you want to. And our overall speed itself is 1300. This is an insane mech, and I think those numbers may be inflated a little bit. No, those are the base stats. Okay. So, what you can really do to utilize these things, number one, I always put them together. If I'm going to run one ERPPC, I'm going to run two. I like throwing in a range module in there so you can hit people from really far away. The fact that they also counter ECM is really, really good. You offset them a lot with heat. So if you're running two ERPPCs, you're going to run into heat sim issues. So make sure you have a lot of heat management. And not so much burning, like being able to take the heat, but being able to burn it off. Especially if you fire them both at the same time. It's horrible when it comes to heat. Overall, though, an amazing weapon. It does 10 damage to the location it hits, but then it does additional damage to the area. I think it's 2.5 damage. Basically another 0.5%, like half of its damage, 5 damage, to the adjacent torsos. So, for example, we're going to use our Timberwolf here. If I were to hit the center torso with a ERPPC blast, I would do 10 damage to the center torso, and I would do 2.5 damage to each of the left and right torsos because they're adjacent. Same if you hit the leg. You'll do 2.5 damage to the right torso or 2.5 to the left torso if you hit the left leg. If you hit the left torso, you do 10 damage to that, but you do 2.5 to the arm and 2.5 to the center torso. So I always like to go center mass with my ERPPCs because worst case scenario, if you hit a torso, if you hit like the right torso, you do some damage to the arm and center torso. So it's always a good thing with PPCs is, or at least I find is the positive impact or offsetting of the heat is, yeah, it does heat, but technically it does 15 damage. It doesn't do 10. It does a little extra splash damage into everything. I kind of wish it did splash damage if you shot around between the legs and it actually hit, like, say, in the ground, like right over here. Didn't actually hit the legs, but exploded. And if it did 2.5 damage to the legs, that wouldn't be too bad. Overall, though, really, really evil weapons in my eyes. I love them, though. Really good. The other one we got was the AMS. We don't actually have an AMS on this mech, I don't believe, so let's find one that does. Do you have AMS? No. Wow, none of my Timberwolves have AMS. Do you have AMS? You don't have AMS. You have 2 AMS. So AMS is the anti-missile system. Basically, if you don't have ECM, good idea for your mech is to put on AMS, the anti-missile system. Especially in the lower tiers, when you see a lot of boats running missiles and stuff like that, and you're running by yourself, always throw an AMS on there with at least 1 to 2 tons of ammo. Mainly, it's on there for self-preservation purposes, especially if you're pugging and you're not playing with a unit or your unit. Throwing up some AMS just to kind of help protect yourself from all those missiles coming in is usually a good thing. If I can do 2, I'll still only do 1 ton. Just because it'll offset. I mean, the AMS itself is only half a ton. So if you did 1 ton of AMS ammo, which is 2,000 rounds, and 2 AMS, you're laughing because you're firing basically at double the rate anyways. And you can turn it on and off. I'll turn it off only until I get engaged, and then I'll turn it on real quick. I'll actually have it highlighted, and I'll hit control. I'll turn it on when the missiles come at me, and then once it goes away saying I'm no longer being shot at, I'll turn the AMS off and continue on. One thing I usually do is an LRM boat, and a lot of people probably don't even realize this, and I do it all the time. I try to find if someone has AMS first before I engage them. So what I'll do is I'll actually fire off a blank round or a dummy round near them. And I also want to see how their kind of control is. Because what I can theoretically do is lob a couple LRMs off to the side of them. If their AMS engages, I know they have AMS, which means I'm going to do just a pure alpha strike of LRMs. If I fire at them and their AMS doesn't fire, I know they're controlling their AMS. So what I want to do is fire off 1 or 2 quick rounds. Say I'm running an Archer for 9 LRM5s. What I'll do is I'll set it on chain. So the first 2 will fire off. And then I'll do the alpha. So it'll be like 1 group of 5, another group of 5, and then the remainder amount. So what happens is the AMS will fire a lot at the beginning, and then it'll hit them. I find that it helps utilize or use up a lot of their ammo if you just chain fire for the first little bit. They'll need 2,000 rounds, and you could make that person chew up those rounds no problem. That, in my eyes, is the only kind of offset, is the the lack of ammo for these things. I mean, they can go through that ammo retardedly fast. The next one we have is the AC-10, or sorry, AC-2, the Inner Sphere AC-2, which we'll bring up on the Rifleman here, for example. Loadout, ballistic, AC-2. Let's go to expanded. Boom, AC-2. So in my eyes, AC-2's really, really, really powerful. Most people don't like them. If they had the chance of running, say, dual 5s or quad 5s, they'd run the 5s. I like 2s on medium mechs, mainly because of their offset. So they only take 1 ton, or sorry, 6 ton. They only take up 1 slot. Overall, they do 2 damage, hence the 2 part, every time they hit someone. Now, if you have a mouse that can run a macro, this can be devastating to some people. And it can cause a lot of problems. The range as well. You can actually surprise people a lot if you throw in the range module on this thing. Right now, the range itself is 1440. You can hit someone at 1,440 yards. You won't do full damage, but when you hit the person, it will surprise them. Optimal range is obviously 720. That's where you do basically the furthest away the person is with the most amount of damage you can do. So right now it's at 720 yards or meters. I'll reach out and touch someone still at that 1440. But if they're in that 720 range, I'll do a full alpha and just keep going and going and going, or even do the chain fire and try to rattle the cage a lot. The projectile speed is one of the other things too. It's 2,000 meters a second, or 2,000 feet per second. I'm trying to remember what the 2,000 means, but either way, this gun, if combined with it, at least 4 of them in total, can be rather evil. For example, I'll run AC-2s on, where is it? I think it's my Cataphat. Which one is it? I'll run dual AC-2s on my 3D. If it has just generic range and cooldowns, that's usually where I'll throw the 2s in. The 2s can get a little hot running those cooldowns, but believe me, it can be crazy evil, and you can have a ton of fun with AC-2s. I always find AC-2s are more fun. AC-20s are more devastating and just have that chutzpah, that ball rattling noise. But the AC-2 it's so fun just sitting back and letting loose and just going ba 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 ba. It'll be very, very fun. Last but not least, you got the LRM-10. Long range missiles obviously hit R for rain. Let's get LRM boat here. You have all of your 5s. Let's get the one I know that has, where is it? Catapult. So here we have some LRM-10s on our catapult here, which you can't see. So let's go with the Archer instead. We're just going to strip this puppy down real quick. Strip cockpit items and equipment. And we're just basically going to load it up with LRM-10s, just so you can see. Now, every missile in the LRM-10 does 10 damage, which is, in my eyes, very good. But as you can see, this mech already could be very dangerous. Obviously, you wouldn't put all 10s, because, yeah. But yeah, so LRM-10s, amazingly effective in groups of 2 or 3. Anything above that, in my eyes, starts getting inefficient with tonnage, but we bring up some stuff here. So it has the range of just like every other LRM, of 1,000 meters. The projectile speed is 160. That's why you're able to see the missile go up and then come down. Every missile is 1 damage. So theoretically, if I were to fire an LRM-10 at someone and 2 of them miss, I'll do 8 damage. Some people definitely do not like LRMs. I, on the other hand, I love them. I like them as a suppression tactic. I love lobbing the missiles at people just to get them to hide. Because if they're hiding, they're not poking. And if they're not poking, our unit's moving up. Which is fun, and I don't know why all of a sudden MechWarrior decided to start loading something. That's very strange. But yeah, LRMs in my eyes, very effective as a suppressive mech or a suppressive weapon system. Good as a supportive weapon system as well. I enjoy LRMs, to be honest with you, just as a derping around weapon as well. One thing about LRMs to always keep in mind is aggressive LRMing, which is now becoming a thing, finally. Apparently, me doing it. I was apparently one of the only few people that did it. Basically, that's where you LRM people pretty much at your minimum. So your minimum for the inner sphere LRM is 180 meters. It's one thing to always remember with inner sphere LRMs is the minimum range, which doesn't show up on here, which is kind of strange. I'm surprised it doesn't. But I believe it's about 100 and 180, 150. We'll say 180 to be on the safe side. But yeah, so 180 meters is your minimum. So you gotta kind of worry a little bit, right? Because the missiles have to go out and arm, basically. Kind of think of them as torpedoes. Yeah. Mech torpedoes. Overall, an amazing weapon for suppression, for a whole bunch of other stuff. I like it. I think it's a good weapon system. With aggressive LRMing, basically you keep the other team at about 200 meters to give yourself that ability to kind of get back or move forward if you need to. And basically you just stand almost on top of the guys and just alpha and alpha and alpha those missiles. Basically you're firing them close enough that the AMS doesn't have time to react, or the missiles don't even arc high enough that multiple AMS systems can hit them. And the person themselves, all they see is incoming missile, and then bang, they're hit almost immediately. So it's one of the more positive things about this, the LRM system. It's tons of fun. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.